pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening again. Let the record show that all members of the City Council are present, with the exception of Councilman's Party and Fairbanks. A copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in the meeting room and is accessible to the public at any time during the course of this meeting. First item on the agenda is to approve the council member public officials bonds. Mr. Catlin?
Mayor, I would move that the following public official bonds be received and placed on file. Mayor Stanley J. Wirth, Western Surety Company. Council members Joseph Bilsbach, Western Surety Company. Richard Clayball, RII Insurance Company. Michael McLean, Western Surety Company. And Robert D. Morgan, RII Insurance Company, be approved, accepted, or ratified as they are presented.
Second. Been moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that the public official bonds be approved. Your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. Next is the oath of office. The oath of office is going to be administered by the city clerk, Aaron Sadoff, for the mayor, council members, and the airport authority members. Gentlemen, if you'll meet me out front.
Good luck.
No, this time.
Mike, you got like 30 seconds to run.
If you do it. Oh, no. Yeah, and that's it.
Bunch of old gray-haired guys.
Do we need something?
I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I take this obligation freely and without mental reservation or for purpose of evasion, and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the office of mayor according to law and to the best of my ability. And I do further swear that I do not advocate nor am I a member of any political party or organization that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of this state by force or violence. And during such time I consider this position, I will not advocate nor become a member of any political party or organization that advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of this state by force or violence, so help me God.
Toby, I was told that Rick Clayball was part of a subversive
Yeah, I heard you collected
a bunch of people when he was in college,
I told him we'd look into it.
and I was supposed to report that.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Next item on the agenda is the election of the council president, and I would accept nominations for council president.
Mayor, I would nominate Mr. Richard Clayball for our council president.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that the nominations of council president cease. I beg your pardon, is there any other nominations? Going once? I would, it's been moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that nominations for council presidents cease and the names of Richard Claybaugh be voted on by ballot. In my opinion, we can do roll call vote, or we can do just the vote electronically. Your vote, please, gentlemen. And that is approved, 5 in favor, with Mr. Claybaugh abstaining. I beg your pardon. 6 in favor and Mr. Claybaugh abstaining. Richard Claybaugh has been elected council president of the Beatrice City Council.
Next item on the agenda, congratulations, Mr. Claybaugh.
Thank you.
And also thank you for your past service, Mr. Catlin.
No problem. Thank you, Mayor.
Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. First item on the agenda is approve agenda as submitted. Next item is item B, receive and place on file all notices pertaining to this meeting. Item C, receive and place on file all materials having any bearing on this meeting. Item D, approval of minutes of special meeting on November 26, 2018 as on file in the city clerk's office. Item E, approval of minutes of special meeting on November 30th, 2018 as on file in the city clerk's office. Item F, approval of treasurer's report of claims in the amount of $208,620.27. Item G, approval of Boswell report of claims in the amount of $3,617.30. Item H, award of bid for the armor coating various locations 2019 to Top Coat Inc. in the amount of $37,175.29 as recommended by the Board of Public Works. And item I, resolution number 6311, appointing Jason Moore as the city's certified city street superintendent. Any item that any council member wants removed from the consent agenda? Mr. Morgan?
I will abstain from D, as in David.
Item D, so noted. Anyone else?
Mayor, I'd have to abstain from, on the November 26th meeting, item D.
Okay. And that's so noted. Anyone else? Anyone from the public want anything removed from the consent agenda? Mr. Claybaugh?
I move that all the items listed under the consent agenda be approved, accepted, and/or ratified as presented.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Morgan, that all items under the consent agenda be approved. Your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Next item is a public hearing to consider the amendment to Section 706C of the zoning ordinance of the City of Beatrice, ordinance number 94-13, regarding residential fences.
This is something we talked about before when we brought up fencing regulations. Curry, you brought up mentioning having in the zoning regulations that the good side of the fence be required to be on the outward facing. So Abby put together some language to amend the zoning ordinance to require just that. It also eliminates some items you can build a fence out of. I think it eliminates scrap wood and pallets and some of those things that are no longer allowed to be used for fencing material. Other than that, though, I think those are the only significant changes. Abby, am I correct in that, or is there anything else?
You're correct.
Questions, gentlemen? Yes, Rich?
Just to bring everybody up, for years, we were told that the good side had to be out, and that wasn't quite true. So I think this was just cleanup to make sure that the good side is out. It just looks better.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone from the public? All right. Mr. Claybaugh?
I move that the public hearing be closed at 7:10.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Cook, that the public hearing be closed at 7:10 p.m. Your vote, please, and that is approved 7-0.
There's a little yellow car out there with its lights on. We're gonna have a dead battery probably. So,
Okay. Thanks, Dan.
you bet. Take care.
Next item on the agenda is item B, a public hearing to amend the zoning map pertaining to a portion of properties from CDBG Central Business District to GC General Commercial or R4 Residential 4.
This again started back when we were talking about the storage containers, and we had that conversation. If you remember, we allowed storage containers in certain zoning areas and not in other ones. One of those, they were not allowed in Central Business District. During part of that conversation, the question was asked about basically the southern part of downtown area. As you can see on the maps that are up here in the screen, that area is currently zoned Central Business District. When looking at it, it made more sense to turn the area that's blue into general commercial, the area that's yellow into R4. The area in yellow is currently covered by houses. The area in blue is generally covered by commercial endeavors. We've also zoned most of the highway corridors general commercial. This was the last section we had not really gotten to or rezoned for that purpose. And so that's the proposal you have before you. If you ask what's the biggest difference between central business district and general commercial, it has to do with how much of the lot you can cover with a building or with concrete. Under central business district, you can make the entire lot impervious. So that's why you see in the downtown area buildings that are butted up against one another and have common walls, that kind of stuff. And general commercial, there are certain setbacks you have to meet, and you're not required to make the entire, you're not allowed to make the entire lot impervious. So those are really the only differences between the two. When we're looking, I don't believe there's any current uses in the central business, in the blue area, that would not be allowed under the current general commercial zoning that we're proposing.
Questions? From the public? All right, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Mayor, I move that the public hearing be closed at 7:13.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Bilsbach, that the public hearing be closed at 7:13. Your vote, please, and that is approved, 7-0. Next is an ordinance amending Section 706-C of the zoning ordinance of the City of Beatrice regarding residential fences. Rick?
I move that the said ordinance be given number 18-040, the title thereof be approved and the rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by the number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Morgan, that the ordinance be given number 18-040, the title thereof approved, the rules suspended, and the said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. A motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. That is approved, 7-0. Ordinance number 18-040 by number the first time, ordinance number 18-040 by number the second time, and ordinance number 18-040 by number the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 18-040 be passed and approved.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Bilsbach, that ordinance number 18-040 be passed and approved. Discussion?
The only thing I would add is planning and zoning did meet. They did have a hearing on this. They had their discussion, and they voted to recommend approval of this change to the zoning ordinance.
Stan,
Yes, sir.
west side of Sixth Street, Highway 77 is central business district, or is that commercial?
Where at again?
On the west side.
The west side.
I'm thinking ahead of myself here.
Of Highway 77?
Yeah, when we get to the, never mind. I'm thinking my outside, never mind.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll get there. in a
all right,
minute. I'm already reading down to the next one, so
all right.
No skipping ahead yet.
Any further discussion?
my computer did, so I just.
Anyone from the audience? And your vote, please. That is approved, 7-0. Ordinance number 18-040 has been passed and adopted. Next is item B, ordinance amending the zoning map of the City of Beatrice, Nebraska, changing the zoning of a portion of properties from CDBG Central Business District to GC General Commercial.
Mayor, I move that the ordinance be given number 18-041, the title thereof be approved and rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Morgan, that the ordinance be given number 18-041, the title thereof approved, rules suspended, and the ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. A motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. That is approved, 7-0. Ordinance number 18-041 by number the first time, ordinance number 18-041 by number the second time, ordinance number 18-041 by number the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 18-041 be passed and approved.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that ordinance number 18-041 be passed and approved. Tobias, any further discussion?
Planning and zoning also discussed this, and they recommended approval as well for this item.
Okay, now I'll ask my question.
Mr. Cook?
It is on the west side of Highway 77, that's GC, right? So we're just extending it.
Where at? To the north or south?
To the south.
To the south, yes. We zoned that general commercial here a couple months ago.
So which is
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone from the public? And your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-041 has been passed and adopted. Next is an ordinance amending the zoning map for the city of Beatrice, Nebraska by changing the zoning of a portion of properties from CBD, Central Business District, to R4, Residential 4.
Mayor, I move that the said ordinance be given number 18-042, the title thereof be approved, and rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
By Catlin, seconded by Morgan, that the ordinance be given number 18-042, the title thereof approved, rules suspended, and the ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. Again, the motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-042 by number the first time, ordinance number 18-042 by number the second time, and ordinance number 18-042 by number the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 18-042 be passed and approved.
Second.
By Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that ordinance number 18-042 be passed and approved. Further discussion?
Planning and zoning also recommend approval of this change.
Anyone on the council with any questions from the public? And your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-042 has been passed and adopted. Next is an ordinance to close and vacate a portion of the alley located between Washington Street and Lincoln Street, between 6th Street and 7th Street in Beatrice, Gage County, Nebraska.
Mayor, I move that said ordinance be given number 18-043, the title thereof be approved, and rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
By Catlin, seconded by Morgan. The ordinance be given number 18-043, the title thereof approved, rules suspended, and the ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. Motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-043 by number the first time, ordinance number 18-043 by number the second time, and ordinance number 18-043 by number the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 18-043 be approved, passed and approved.
Second.
By Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that ordinance number 18-043 be passed and approved. Tobias?
The county contacted us about the possibility of acquiring the alley that's behind the jail. Easiest way to think about it. If you know, they acquired the bus stop there as well. They've acquired most of that block there, and so they asked about acquiring the alley through there. So what you have before you first is an ordinance to close and vacate the alley. Then you have an ordinance to convey the alley, and then you have a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the real estate agreement to actually transfer the alley. And so that's why you have 3 different steps as we go through this process. We did have set a $1,000 price on the alley. We came with that number. It's the same number we charged the Methodist Church a couple of years ago for an alley. It's the same price we charged, or we offered the Catholic Church for their alley as well. That transaction ultimately did not go through. So that's how we came up with the number.
Discussion, gentlemen? Bob?
Doesn't really impact anybody. I mean, this is basically just all county.
I think the county owns 3/4 of that block, and there's one alley or one parking lot there that's owned by the funeral home. But my understanding is the county's already contacted Jason Moore about closing off the entrance to the alley from Highway 77, and so should not have any impact on anybody else in the alley.
Any other questions? Rich, did you have a question?
Do we have any utilities to go down through there? And we've got
We need an easement, yeah.
we've got an easement, okay.
Anyone from the public? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-043 has been passed and adopted. Next is item E, an ordinance to convey the vacated portion of the alley located between Washington Street and Lincoln Street, between 6th Street and 7th Street in Beatrice, Gage County, Nebraska.
Mayor, I move that said ordinance be given number 18-044, the title thereof be approved, and rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Morgan, that the ordinance be given number 18-044, the title thereof approved, rules suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. Again, a motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please, and that is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-044 by number the first time, ordinance number 18-044 by number the second time, and ordinance number 18-044 by number the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 18-044 be passed and approved.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Cook, that ordinance number 18-044 be passed and approved. Any further discussion? Any questions from anyone as we continue on with this process? Anyone from the public? And your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 18-044 has been passed and adopted. Next is a resolution number 6312, executing a contract for sale of real estate to Gage County, Nebraska.
Mayor, I move that resolution number 6312 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, or beg your pardon, moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Morgan, that resolution number 6312 be passed and adopted. Discussion. Any further discussion? This is the sale of property to the county, $1,000. Any questions? Anyone from the public? And your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Resolution number 6312 has been passed and adopted. Next is a resolution number 6313, reappointing various city officials.
Mayor, I move that resolution number 6313 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that resolution number 6313 be passed and approved. Discussion? Any discussion from anyone? Everybody okay with it? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Next is a resolution number 6313. I beg your pardon. Resolution number 6313 has been passed and adopted. Then we go to resolution number 6314, entering into a 3-year lease agreement between the City of Beatrice, Nebraska, and the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 84, Beatrice, Nebraska, for the purpose of a health and fitness training center in a portion of the first and second floor of the Beatrice Police Station.
Mayor, I move that resolution number 6314 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Morgan, seconded by Cook, that resolution number 6314 be passed and adopted. Tobias?
This is something we do every couple of years with the Fraternal Order of Police. They have a weight room. They take care of all the equipment in there. We simply lease them a space for $1 for them to have it within the police station. Generally, these lease terms run concurrent with the length of the union contract. So that's why you have it up again. That's why we signed a 3-year agreement. Otherwise, there's nothing new or different in this contract as the previous ones.
Questions, comments? Phil?
Is the equipment their equipment, the weights and the,
Yes.
Yes.
okay? And do they need to carry insurance or anything? Are we okay if they would drop a weight through the floor?
The part you're going to run into is if they were to have any damage or cause injury during it, it's probably going to be a worker comp claim, right? They're probably working. I mean, that's going to be the struggle you have with those types of injuries that occur. If they do damage to the building, Mr. Pethoff might be able to speak to that if there's damage to the building or anything, but generally has not been an issue in the past.
My God, how heavy a weight are they lifting?
They've got some big boys.
Yes, they do.
That's the biggest weight I lift.
Any other questions or comments from the
How much
public?
raise did we give those guys? Does that tie in with the con? No, I don't know.
All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Resolution number 6314 has been passed and adopted. Next is item 6, the public forum. Purpose of the public forum is for the presentation of an item by the general public to the city council for consideration at a later date. No discussion or action will be taken by the city council at this time. Does anyone from the council have anything for the public forum? From the audience? All right. We have no discussions or reports this evening. Next, we are going to go into executive session. Mr. Claybaugh?
Mayor, I move that the Beatrice City Council go into closed session at 7:25 for the protection of public interest to discuss contract negotiations.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that the Beatrice City Council go into executive session at 7:25 for the purpose and protection of public interest to discuss contract negotiations. Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0.